Hey guys, I was gonna film a video yesterday and I started filming it and I was 50 minutes into it. Then my laptop died and then I realized that the whole screen recording just didn't save for 50 minutes. And then also when my laptop died, I tried to plug it in and it didn't charge. It just didn't work. So I thought my laptop was actually dead and I would have to get a new one. And then I woke up in the morning today and it worked fine. So I'm taking that as a sign that I wasn't supposed to watch the movie I was watching yesterday. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And not even in like a, wow, this is like really funny bad. It was like, I refuse to speak while I'm watching this because I have nothing of value to say. This movie is so bad. And if you're wondering which movie it was 365 Days. My Polish people did not do what they were supposed to do. Like, this movie did not give what it was needing to be given. It was bad. And like, I love crap movies. Like, if you give me a movie, I'm gonna really thoroughly enjoy myself. After We Collided, Kissing Booth 2, Kissing Booth 3. Give me bad movies and I'm gonna have a good time. But this one was just unnecessarily bad. Anyway, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise that this movie just like didn't pan out for me, because I would have had like a really time editing it and I would have probably just like wasted like 10 hours of my time on a video that I just did not need to post. So I'm just going to watch a movie that I actually want to watch, and that is Girl Boss Gatekeep. Whoa. And that is Girl Boss Gatekeep Gaslight Gone Girl. That's my tagline for today's video. If anyone's done this tagline before, by the way, I'm not stealing jokes. I just clearly have like no original thoughts in my head. So if anyone's done this before, let me know. But I think it's pretty obvious. Like, this movie is Girl Boss Gatekeep Gaslight, and then it's Gone Girl. Alliteration. That was the thing we're doing right now. Anyway, let's just watch the movie. This is truly one of my favorite rom-coms. Like, I want to be what she is. Kaleidos sent me their new lip products. They're the lip clays, and this is genuinely, I'm gonna be controversial. This is very loud. This is one of my favorite lip formulas of all time. Like, it's a liquid lipstick, but it feels like a regular creamy, beautiful lipstick, but it stays on and I love it. Anyway, I love her. She's so... Wow. When I watched this for the first time, there was not a minute where I wasn't absolutely shocked or fascinated by what's happening on the screen. And any man, well, I don't mean any, I mean like the one man that I was watching it with was like terrified. Like, I looked at him and he was just like, what is she doing? And I was like, oh, good for her. She's doing what we all need to be doing. I think along these lines, like the whole good for her thing, we've also got Midsummer that I watched. I still haven't watched Promising Women, so kind of want to watch that. I think that's, once again, good for her. But yeah, I just love these good for her movies. It says it's based on a book, and I have the book, I just haven't read it, so yeah, maybe I'll get around to that one day.
Well, the Irish prince graces us with his presence.
You're the new class.
His Majesty prefers not to be moistened.
He is the blandest of men. Like, I feel like any man can fit into this category of bland. I love it. Like, I love what they did with this character. I love it. I think it's genius. I think it just, like, any man watching this sees themselves in him, and then it progressively just gets dangerous, and they're like, oh my god, this could happen to me, because he's so bland that like any man looking at him is like, oh yeah, like that's me, I act like that. And then shit hits the fan and they're like, oh, I don't want to act like that. Literally play this for if you have a boyfriend or a husband or someone you need to scare into behaving right. Play them this movie and be like, good for her, I agree with what she's doing.
I'm so crazy, stupid, happy.
I also broke my nail, and I broke it to the point where it was bleeding profusely, and then I fainted. It was lights out, unconscious for me, because I hate nail injuries. And now this one's broken as well. This is what happens when I try to go back to my long nail days. This is something I like to do, and then it just backfires on me. So, do you guys remember the good old days where I would literally have like a full set of nails, and then 2 weeks later have like 3 nails left, and you guys would be like, get them done now.
What's your name?
Amy.
Oh, Amy? Who are you?
This movie is also, well, not this movie. This movie made me believe in what I'm doing, which is like never being the cool girl. Like, if a man says that you're like his dream girl, you should be concerned. Okay. be concerned. That is quite literally the reason why I am the way I am. It's just because like I don't want to be the cool girl. I don't want to be not like other girls. Like I am just like all the other girls. Okay? I'm basic. I like shitty chick flicks. I like pink. And I will not be the cool girl. I hate beer. I imagine piss would probably taste kind of like what beer tastes like. And I feel like a lot of girls fall into the trap of trying to not be like other girls, and I don't blame them because I just think it's like, you know, men really want the not like other girls girl. But yeah, I just think don't do it because you attract these kind of guys. We don't want these guys. We want different guys.
So is Amy gonna do one of those anniversary treasure hunts?
You mean the forced march designed to prove what an oblivious and uncaring asshole her husband is?
Wow.
Also, like, if I ever have a son and I raise him to be like this, I want to end it.
What was the clue last year she got so mad about?
When your poor Amy has a cold, this dessert just must be sold.
The answer?
I still don't know the answer.
Like, these men are so not self-aware. It's like, has no one ever told them that they're a menace to society? Like, have you just not been told?
There's no good gift for wood.
I know. Go home, fuck her brains out, slap her with your penis. There's some wood for you, bitch.
No gift. Just didn't get her anything. Oh my god, I'm just... These men. This one stubby nail is good for doing my under eyes, so I might just keep it around. Just have one missing nail. And this is where he finds out that his wife is gone. You get it?
It's so bizarre. It seems like the kind of thing that would happen to Amy. She always attracts these.
Drama?
The fact that he just does not like his wife. Like, he just doesn't like her. He's just like, I'm tolerating you because we're here. And I'm also a bum and like no other woman wants me, so I'm gonna tolerate you, but like I don't actually like you. Like, that's literally the vibes he's giving you.
House is rented in her name. Car's in her name.
Everything's in her name. Why? Because he doesn't work. She does.
Even his bar's in her name.
I don't know that that's so surprising.
Oh, but it is humiliating.
I love that this movie has had like a resurgence in the last year or two on TikTok because people are just like, wow, good for her. Like, I feel like this genre of like good for her movies is coming back and I love it. I want more good for her movies.
If anyone out there has any information, please come forward.
Amy is our only child. She's bright, she's beautiful, she's kind.
This is what his speech should have sounded like, and instead he was just like, lol, help me look for my wife maybe, because I have no money to pay rent. Like, I don't have a job, so help me find her.
It's a cozy room for my favorite writer. After school meeting, don't mind if I do. Maybe I'll teach you a thing or two.
The fact that she actually put effort, I know that, you know, the effort was put for different reasons, but she clearly does this every year because he like is aware of this. So she puts in effort every year for him to not even get dressed. I'm sorry. Not get her a gift, not get dressed, not prepare anything. He's just completely fucking useless.
Are you following me?
What you doing?
Like you said, it's my dad's house. I come by once a week, make sure the place hasn't burned down.
She's clearly like onto him and he clearly is like starting to get suspicious, and I love it. I love the tension. I love everything about this movie. I love the narration from Amy.
Want to test your marriage for weak spots? Add 1 recession, subtract 2 jobs. It's surprisingly effective.
Oh yeah, you always think it's gonna be different and then your husband turns out to be a bum.
More games?
Yeah, I just want to shoot some folks.
I love just watching like the slow decline of this relationship. Not because I wish her badly, but you know, it just kind of paints an image.
Because it's easy to throw.
Nick, I don't get it. I don't get why you're daring me to be someone I don't want to be. The nagging shrew, the controlling bitch. I'm not that person.
This is where we get into the plot of the movie. I love it. You know, the nagging wife that men just loved. Oh, my wife just nags me so... Why? Maybe it's because you're useless. Maybe it's because you're literally a child. Maybe it's because at the age of 30, you can barely wipe your asshole. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why you've got a nagging wife.
I knew everything was about to get worse.
Okay, tell me what's wrong.
This is the true feminist movie. The fact that he's still just completely unconcerned by the like fact that his wife's missing. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna like tag along and hope for the best, I guess. I love how well this movie sets everything up. It's such a slow burn, but it's so effective.
He's being a good guy. So everybody can see him being a good guy.
Well, you really don't like him, do you?
What's to like?
That's literally it. He's a nice guy. He's the nice guy that every girl goes for because they're like, oh, it's gonna be fun. He's gonna be nice to me. No, nice means useless. Like, this movie is very, you know, over the top, very, like, she's quite clearly the villain of the movie. Like, she's supposed to be technically the villain of the movie, but I feel like the vibes are just, like, you can't help but just feel bad for her, you know?
Oh my God. I saw you on TV. So crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And there we go.
I've been so worried about you.
Where have you been? I called you 100 times. You gotta pick up your phone.
Rehearsals.
What?
Has the nerve to cheat on her while also being a bum. Men. Nothing but the audacity. They're having sex right now. Can't show it to you guys. But I just want to say, like, your wife's missing. Your wife's gone missing. And it looks like she's been killed. And you're
out so much.
I know.
Stay home.
I can't. I'm already late.
Well, then can I come?
You would hate it. It's like a bunch of my dorky high school friends.
Or is it the girl that you're cheating with? This is what happens when you're not like other girls and like the cool girl. Like, you know, when you start the relationship and you're like, oh yeah, like I'm cool. Like, you could go out with your friends. Yeah. He thinks that's just how it's going to be for the rest of his life. If you're crazy from the get-go, he knows what he's signing up for. Be crazy.
Why, it's not good enough for you?
It's not even close.
What scared me wasn't that he'd push me. What scared me was how much he wanted to hurt me more.
My reaction's not like, because I know how this movie ends, so my reaction sometimes might be a little bit off, but
Wake up.
it's literally absolutely insane the fact that his wife is missing and he has like zero respect to not maybe continue to cheat on her when she's maybe dead. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know what I mean.
You're a liar and a cheat. You're just like Dad. How did you even meet her?
She's one of my students.
Of course she is. Like, just when you think he can't get worse, one of his students. Like, he thinks he's just so good. Like, he thinks he's actually just doing her a favor by being in a relationship with her. Yeah, it's like morning, sleeping with your mistress, evening, vigil for your missing wife.
Pool of blood and no bodies suggests homicide. It tells us to look at people inside the house, which is what we're doing here, Nick.
I see.
So, how was your marriage, Nick?
How was your marriage, Nick? Go on. Tell us the truth.
We better look at your finances, Nick. $117,000 in credit card debt.
What?
All right, well, let's talk about life insurance. Because in April, you bumped up Amy's life insurance to $1.2 million.
Yes, I did. That was her idea. She wanted me to.
The life insurance, the debt. I just want you guys to make sure you're focusing on all the details of this movie because I think it's great.
Is that what you're asking me? If I murdered my wife?
I would never ask you that.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should ask him that. Did you murder your wife? Because you're bitter and pathetic.
Picture me. I'm a girl who's very, very bad.
Be careful.
This is where the plot thickens. Like, this movie does a turn.
It's where you keep goodies for anniversary 5. So open the door.
He figures it out a little bit too late because they're already there. A little bit too late for that. This is where the girl bossing starts.
Soon to be presumed dead. Gone. And my lazy, lying, cheating, oblivious husband will go to prison for my murder.
Girl boss gatekeep gaslight.
Secretly create some money troubles. With the help of the unwitting, bump up your life insurance.
Isn't she just a genius?
You need to package yourself so that people will truly mourn your loss. And America loves pregnant women.
And there she goes, pregnant with friends that he's unaware of.
Off he goes, and the clock is ticking. Meticulously stage your crime scene.
She's quite Like literally genius, but like scary genius.
After that, you invent. The spending, the abuse, the fear, the threat of violence.
The fact that she's just like doing self-care. She's like, oh, just have my eye mask on and I've just washed my hair and I'm gonna write about this fake abuse.
Nick and Amy will be gone, but then we never really existed. Nick loved a girl I was pretending to be.
There we
Cool
go.
girl.
Cool girl. Not like other girls.
Cool girl is
Just
hot.
monologue.
Cool girl is game. Cool girl is fun. Cool girl never gets angry at her man. She only smiles in a chagrin-loving manner
Oh,
and then presents her mouth for fucking.
Don't let a man do this to you. They all become lazy. We don't need men. No, we don't. Oh, my earphones fell out. We don't need men, Phoebe.
Then he dragged me, penniless, to the navel of this great country and found himself a newer,
You enjoying the
younger,
movie as well?
bouncier cool girl.
I love the meticulous planning. She's very organized in what she does.
Darling Nikki, smile. You asshole.
She's terrifying, but like in the best way possible.
I went to the bar where he works to surprise him. And out he comes with this girl who had no business being in a bar.
Well, this is where the villain origin story started for Amy.
And before he kissed me, he leaned in and did this.
Okay, so I actually fell asleep yesterday. Well, not fell asleep, like my battery on my camera died, and so I like took out the camera and stuff, and then I immediately was just like very tired, so I decided to go to sleep. And now it's the next day and I'm going to continue watching the movie because it's very long, it's a long movie. So I'm going to do my makeup again. So again, 2 looks, 1 video, 1 movie. I don't think it's that big of a deal. At least my hair's done today. Like yesterday was rough, like I was looking not that great. Anyway. She's so excited.
I'd like to report some strange activity near the woodshed on the property of one Margot Dunn.
Oh my god. The woodshed. It's starting. I love it's just like the peeling back of the notes. Just one at a time. It's a slow, meticulous process. Because normally when people do these things, they just have like this one like chaotic plan and they don't really stick with it and it's not super thought out, so it kind of fails. With her, it's like every single step is planned out and meticulous, and that is a woman that you fear. It's a woman that plans ahead. She's got a notebook, be scared. If she writes stuff in her calendar, be scared. Because if you go missing, no one's gonna look for you. She's gonna make sure of it.
Well, why didn't he make sure it actually burned?
Because he tripped the alarm. You were up his ass with a flashlight.
The whole thing just feels hinky.
She's like onto it. But it's also because she's a woman. I feel like she understands. Like she's a little more aware. These men are just like, makes sense. It's kind of ironic, like the only woman is actually not believing the story that Amy is putting down. And all the men are like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Clue 2.
My father's house. Another place where Andy and I would occasionally have relations.
Clue 3.
Woodshed. Also a location.
Oh my
where
God.
We had limited options.
A hotel.
Amy would have seen the credit card bills.
Put it on Andy's credit card.
Andy's statement went right to her parents.
Ew.
And like,
This is what I mean. It's like he's cheating on her, but also has like no capabilities financially of cheating on her. It's mind-boggling. So he would have to actually use her money to cheat on her, which is crazy. At least he had the decency to not do that, you know?
Nick, do you have any idea as to what Andy's mindset is?
Revenge. Sweet revenge.
Any other strategy is missing the point. Now, I've got 2 ex-Secret Service guys that are really good. I'll put them on it. But where do they start, Nick? Where would Amy go?
I have no idea.
He doesn't even know where she could possibly escape to. Like, that's how little he knows about her. Because she knew exactly where he was cheating on her, with who, how, when, for what reason. Like, she left clues in every single place that he was at, sleeping around with Andy, but he can't even figure out where his wife could possibly go to and hide. I've started baking recently again, and it's kind of fun, but I feel like I'm going to start hating it soon again. Like, I always go through phases of like, oh, I want to bake under my eyes, and then hating it. I think it just depends what concealer I'm using and what powder I'm using. Like, it's like a very specific situation, you know? I don't know, I feel like my skin's just been more oily recently. Maybe that's what's doing it. Like when my skin was dry, I obviously didn't enjoy it, but now that it's oily again, I'm kind of into it.
You're doing Sharon Shieber tomorrow, St.
It
Louis.
could go so wrong.
And you are going to tell her about Andy.
Nope.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That sounds like a very bad
Heck, you
idea.
haven't heard from her in 3 days. This is a ticking time bomb. You've got to throw yourself on it.
People are gonna hate.
And
They already hate you, you idiot.
Nick, this case is about what people think of you.
That's very true. Makes sense why he's such a good lawyer, because he understands the manipulation tactics. Isn't that all it is though? Like just, you know, how to manipulate the jury? I can never be a defense lawyer. I feel like I just feel really bad. Like if I knew I was defending a murderer, or I thought was a murderer, I just feel really bad. That's why I wanted to go into corporate law. I didn't want to do criminal, because I was like, I don't want to deal with that. I just want to do like contracts and business deals. Like I don't want to, mainly like family law, custody of kid, leave me out of it.
Your glasses are fake. Your hair's dyed all hamster. You say her name's Nancy, but you don't even answer to it half the time. You're hiding, I don't know why, and I don't really care.
See, once again, can I just bring this up? I think I'm a genius, actually. The only people that are catching her out on her bullshit are women. I think this was done to show that women all have that same thought process that's more meticulous and more careful and more scheming, whereas men just do things chaotically and like they don't really think about it. They just kind of do, and then they hope for the best. The women are the ones that think almost the same way that Amy is thinking, but they're not doing it, if that makes sense. So like the police officer and now her, like they all see the little things. Maybe women are just more detail orientated, I don't know, but it's clearly painting an image here, isn't it?
I did not kill my wife.
Why don't you try it again, a little less wooden.
He's so stiff, like he doesn't care.
For a while, things had been building up.
Built up implies that an explosion is coming. No.
The manipulation here is insane. Plot here is just insane.
I'm sorry.
I love what she does. Like, not love, like I think she's a very well written character. Because she's not, you're not supposed to be rooting for her, but it's kind of like, you know the TV show You? It's like you're not supposed to be rooting for Joe, but sometimes the things he says is like, it's almost like he's manipulating the audience at the same time. And you're like, oh yeah, I do think that person should die. And then you catch yourself and you're like, ah, she's giving the same vibes as Joe from You.
Oh my God. Oh, you little slut.
My name is Andy Fitzgerald.
She went ahead before him.
When he was my creative writing teacher at Mill Valley.
Why is she dressed like a babysitter?
I am deeply ashamed of having been romantically involved with a married man.
And his whole plan falls apart. The whole like getting ahead of, you know, Andy coming out. It all falls apart.
You are more than safe. And I am not letting you get away again.
How interesting. The fact that he's getting so manipulated so slowly, and she's just making these little steps forward, not big leaps. We want little steps. Women are so much more intelligent. Is that controversial? Like that's a controversial statement to make. She's got him right where she wants him. I feel like me cutting down this movie is not doing it any justice, obviously, because I have to edit this down. I can't just like show you guys the whole movie, so please just still watch the movie so you can see all the little details, because I think it's just important. Like, this movie is very long, but it's also long for a good reason. I remember the first time I watched this movie, I went into it completely blind. Like, I didn't know what it was about. I just heard some people talking about it, so I was shocked. Like, I was in absolute shock.
Amy, I love you. You're the best person I've ever known. And I've taken myself to the woodshed for the way that I've treated you. And if you,
Not him dropping the subtle hints.
I will be the man that I promised you I would be.
I feel like I didn't even speak for this whole thing, because it's just crazy how they've done this. Like, the way they've set this whole scene up with him doing the interview but speaking to her, and him hinting to her through the TV because he knows that she's watching at things that... Insane.
I think we can all agree.
Oh my God, you fucking killed it. They're going crazy for you.
It also shows how easy it is to sway an audience. Like, people just flip-flop from one side to the next.
I have treated you more than fair throughout this entire investigation. I gave you the benefit of the doubt over and over. Every time you said something stupid, I thought, maybe he's just stupid. But I was wrong.
The fact that Amy's now managed to dupe, like, the one police officer that almost believed Nick.
You thought quinoa was a fish.
That is also true, yes.
She wanted to get pregnant, you assaulted her.
I hit her?
Mixing up, like, the truth of the lies as well to make the lies more believable. Amazing.
Nicholas Dunn, you're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Amy Elliott Dunn.
What about my side?
Nick!
Why am I shocked when I've already seen this movie? Like, I'm just so shocked every single time at how she's managed to pull this off. And, like, a lot of her plan is now long distance and it's still working out in her favor. Like, she's not even there to make it happen. It's just happening. This scene had me all the way fucked up. Just you wait. I can't even show you most of this, right? But everything that she does from this point onwards, like, actually I can't defend. Psychotic, but, like, I can't defend it. But it's so genius how they've done this. I'm sorry, it just is. I don't have to agree with her to appreciate the way they've built this character up. She knows where the camera is because she saw it. She saw the camera, so she knows where to play this whole act. Oh my god, I'm just like, wow. Like I said, the fact that she manages to manipulate this many men is mind-boggling to me.
But I want it.
Like, it's not a good thing, but it's interesting. I can't show you this obviously, but they're, you know, getting into it. She murdered him while he's on top of her, finishing into her. Just thought I'd give you guys the play-by-play because I can't show any of it to you guys. Like, she literally killed him. That's that on that. He's not alive to tell the tale anymore. That makes me think, because I feel like a lot of serial killers are men. Is it because there's not a lot of women serial killers, or is it because they just don't get caught? Just wondering. And Amy's back. His loving wife.
Every night. He tied me up like a dog. And then he'd punish me.
I think this movie's problematic in its own ways because it paints the image of, like, a lying girl that's just, like, out for revenge, and it's not good for victims. But it's also a very entertaining story if you're just looking at it in the perspective of, like, this is just a movie, it's fiction, you know? But if you try and, like, look too much into it, it can get a little problematic. But, you know, you're not actually supposed to be rooting for Amy, you're supposed to be rooting for everyone else, but...
This case had been left in your deeply incompetent hands. My husband would be on death row, and I'd be tied still. Spread eagle.
Ms. Dunn, you've been very brave.
Oh my god, she's getting everyone screwed over. She's like, you, and you. Watch your tone. The smile that she gives him, terrifying.
You are perfect. The Nick I saw on TV, that's the Nick I fell in love with.
You do know I was just telling you what you wanted to hear, right?
That's how well you know me.
Oh my god. Like, at this point, my jaw was just like, my mouth was just open the whole time I was watching this movie. I was like, wow, she did all of this. All of this. All of this. She's got him right where she wants him, because he knows that if he leaves now, it's game over for him. Like, his life's over. I've got mascara on my eyeball. Like, right there, and I can't get it off. It doesn't hurt or anything. I'm just getting blurry vision. This is not healthy. I'm trying to blink it away.
I so appreciate you giving us this time, Nick.
You went on national television and told people that I murdered my wife.
Well, I go where the story goes.
This movie also shows like the sides of the news, like the 24-hour news cycle, how toxic that is. I think it speaks volumes on a lot of different topics. I think it's a great movie. I love these Kaleidos lip thingies. I'm using a different shade today. It's the Pink Moon one. It's really nice.
You can teach those people to hate me all you want. I don't care. I am leaving you.
I won't have to teach your child to hate you. He'll do that all by himself.
It blows my mind the way they've painted this character and the way she's just like developed but in like the wrong way throughout the movie. It's like he was never abusive but she made him abusive. Partners in crime. Isn't that ironic?
We're gonna be parents.
Oh, my goodness.
What
This scene right here is like the one that
How are you feeling?
everyone like posts on TikTok, and it's the little
What have
smile,
we done to
the little
each
rub of the head.
What will we do?
And that's it. That's all she wrote on that one. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Isn't this movie just like the biggest masterpiece of all time? This is written in a very similar format to You, which is, if you haven't seen it, about this guy that's like a bit of a stalker vibe. And he starts killing people, and you're not supposed to be rooting for him, but sometimes he says something and you're like, oh, that kind of makes sense. And it just goes to show how like easy it is to manipulate someone, gaslight someone, how easy it is to like make someone believe something that they're not supposed to be believing at all. And you're rooting for the wrong person sometimes, and you catch yourself and you're like, oh my god, am I a bad person? But I think it's just like a grey zone. There's a bit of a nuance with people. No one's a good person, no one's a bad person. Well, there's some good people, there's some bad people, but there's good people doing bad things and bad people doing good things, and that's why it's such a great area. I think this is getting very philosophical. Hear me out. I just think this whole movie you're rooting for like the wrong person, and it's just it's iconic how this is written. I think it's crazy, I think it's wild, I think it's just a good movie. I've watched this movie a few times now, and every time I watch it I'm like just as shocked, and then I have to remind myself that like I've already seen it. I don't have to be shocked because I know what's happening, but you know, I'm still shocked nonetheless. Anyway, that will be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, give any recommendations for any movies for the future, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.